Hey everybody, this is Melissa and I am your encouraging prepper, and today I decided to bring this outside. I want to talk to you about this medical supply shortage and how you can get in front of it. And I'm always keeping my eyes and ears open for you guys, so come on back and let's talk about the medical supplies and how you can keep your family in front of these issues. Okay, so welcome back. So I want to start this video out by saying the reason I wanted to do this video is because I had an experience in my doctor's office while getting my yearly physical. And this has not been a long time ago. It's just been a few months back. And I said, wow, what other shortages are happening in the medical field? So I decided during that office visit, I'm just going to share just a little bit about it. You know, we all know when you go get your yearly physical, you expect it to go in this little cup and have that urine analysis done, right? Well, I kept waiting, and I'm on the way to the doctor's office saying, I know I'm going to have to go in this little cup. I won't get into a whole lot of detail. So after being in the office for a while, I asked the doctor, am I going to have to go in that little cup? And the doctor's response was, well, now we don't really do that anymore. And of course, my next question was, and why? Because, I need to know why I'm not getting everything that I usually get in my physical and my workup. And she goes on to tell me that due to a supply shortage, we're not able to process those unless it is a critical issue, unless you're having some problems in that area. We will not be doing that part during the physical. So anyway, as I left the doctor's office, I said, wow, now my antennas went way up, because I'm thinking, how do we get a complete physical without that part? And also, some of the blood work, the office is starting to shut down where you can go get your full workup for blood. Some of the labs were closing in my area. So long story short, I decided I'm going to research what other medical issues are going on and why, we're seeing this chain of events happening with the medical supplies. So I'm going to be sharing a quick article. I'll put the article up over here or over here and I'll also put it in the description box below. But I want to read this article to you guys just so you can hear what's happening with the CT scans, MRIs, and if you need imaging, I want to bring this to your attention. And if you have parents that are going back for visits, if they are cancer patients or any of that, you want to hear this article, okay? So I'm just going to read a little bit of the article. I'm going to give you a synopsis. I don't want the video to be too long, but you can always find this article in the description box below. Okay, so this is a CNN health report from Michael Nettleman, Amanda Seeley, and Nadia Kanag, okay? I may have botched the names, but that's okay. The shortages of contrast dye is forcing hospitals to ration CT scans. Now, that is alarming to me. What if you walk in the hospital and you need a CT scan? Who decides who gets the CT scan? Listen to this. A shortage of key components for some crucial imaging tests, such as CT scans, is leading to rationing within hospitals. And on down in the article, it says, the component is a liquid called IV contrast, which contains iodine. It can be injected in a patient's bloodstream to highlight different structures on scans. It can reveal, for example, the location of a clot when someone is having a stroke. That sounds pretty important to me. The shortage stems from the temporary closure of GE Healthcare's manufacturing facility in Shanghai in the midst of its city's 2 months zero COVID lockdown. So that was as a result of Shanghai having a lockdown. This has created a medical shortage here in the U.S., medical supply shortage. In a statement, GE Healthcare said that its facility is in the process of getting production back up to speed. Its output had risen to 60% of capacity which was by May 21st. And GE expected to have it back to 100% capacity the week of the article, which was in June, the beginning of June. The other thing is that the GE Healthcare is one of 4 companies that supplies iodine containing contrast to the U.S. But the other manufacturers haven't been able to scale up to offset the shortage. So we have 4 main companies, one of which GE Healthcare is the main supplier to the U.S. for this contrast. And in the article, it states that the other 3, have not been able to offset the shortage, according to the Radiology Society of North America. Thousands of patients are may be affected. Foster said the American Health Association doesn't have data on how many patients have had scans delayed, but believes it's well into the thousands. Wow, that's pretty alarming. Oncologist Han said her cancer patients are having trouble getting scans. And this is quote, for these patients, getting CT scans with contrast can be extremely important, not only in the diagnosis of cancer up front, but also assessing treatment responses. So this is how they tell how well a patient is doing. An article goes on to state that they are missing some serious opportunities for diagnosis. Listen to this. One emergency doctor in California said she had a patient who would have gotten scanned using the contrast dye if it were not for the shortage. The woman was sent home after multiple other tests turned up nothing, but she came back 2 days later in severe pain and finally received contrast dye. Those scans revealed clots that were missed during her initial visit. So this is why I wanted to do this video and bring this article to you guys. I'm always striving to keep my subscribers up to date. What's happening with the medical supplies is what I wanted to make sure you are aware of today. Also, if you need medical attention, I am urging you, I am begging you, take care of yourself. This is the time. Get your physical. If you haven't had a yearly physical, get your physical. If you need to go to the dentist, go to the dentist. If you need a dermatologist to have a full scan of your skin and you have skin issues, do this now while you can, because there is no guarantee with the shortages that we're seeing across this industry. We don't know what will be next in terms of what's going to affect a person's health care. So I'm urging you, if you have children, get them to the dentist, because the supplies needed to do fillings and things like root canals, hopefully you don't need that, but those things require particular medical supplies. So get what you need while you can, okay? Okay, so now I want to cover just a few things that you definitely want to have in your medical supply storage. Okay, you want to get ahead of this, stay ahead of it. You want to beat anything that's coming as far as what's on the ships or whatever didn't come in a container. You want to have things in your home ahead of time. So number one, make sure you have just a general first aid kit. You want to make sure you have one for your car and one for your home. Okay, you just want to go by any store, any drugstore. You can pick these up anywhere. Your local store should carry a first aid kit. So you want to make sure you have a first aid kit on hand. The next thing is, whether you have blood pressure issues or not, this is the time to go ahead and purchase a blood pressure machine. You can get these at Walgreens. This is a Walgreens brand, and I'm not pushing any brand. I don't care what brand you get a blood pressure cuff machine, okay? One for the home. They also make these for your wrist. You can buy the kind that goes on the wrist, which is a lot easier to use, especially for those that are seniors, okay? So you may want to look into getting that. Also, every home should have a temperature check thermometer. You want to make sure you have this. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You can have the manual one, but I particularly like this, and I do it on the arm and side here. I do it here and not toward the head. And I'm not a doctor by any means, but you can do your own research on that. But make sure you have a thermometer in your home. As we approach times that are going to get tougher and a little bit harder, it may be a little tough to find these items as we go along. Okay, the next item you want to make sure you have is the oximeter. This is a meter that they use when you go for your physical. They put it on your hand and on your finger, and they say, you know, you either have enough oxygen in your blood or you don't have enough oxygen. So you want to make sure you have those three things right there. And then handy dandy medicines, just your over-the-counter medicines, up your supply. You may have, you know, a few Tylenol here or some Advil or a little bit of this, and I'm not giving you any medical advice, and I have to say that for the sake of this video, but I am giving you friendly advice. So make sure you get your Tylenols and your any type of allergy medicines that you need. If you have allergies and you go for shots, make sure you have a backup that you can have it in a pill form, okay? You don't want to just depend on going to the doctor to get those shots. Have another way of taking care of the allergies as you approach those different seasons, okay? Okay, so let me quickly cover prescription drugs and the importance of making sure you have a backup plan, okay? My backup plan for any prescriptions that are used is basically to work with a dietitian. Make sure you have someone working with you to transition you to supplements, things that can be used on a natural basis. And again, I'm not a doctor. That's just how I plan to handle it. If you are taking hormone medicine, for instance, to my ladies, if you are on hormone pills, you want to go ahead, start working with someone who is a professional, who can get you over to something natural, can recommend natural things for the body, so that transition is not hard should that particular medicine become unavailable. Okay, also on your supplies, when you go to your doctor, ask your doctor for a 90-day prescription. Try not to get the 30-day supply unless it's just the only way you can go. Try to get a 90-day supply on all prescriptions. This will help you keep more of a stock. Should there be an emergency in the supply chain with that particular medicine, you will have what you need for a little bit longer without having to panic, okay? Another thing that could help is if you are taking a drug that is not allowed for a 90-day supply, you can go talk to your pharmacist, of course. Every pharmacist is different. Find out how many days early can I get this prescription in that 30-day window. There's always a 2 or 3 day time frame that they will allow you to pick up your medicines, so you can start building that extra 3 days per month, extra 3 days, okay? But you have to get that on your calendar, and you have to stay on top of it in order to build that supply. So that's another way you can do that. And hopefully that's been helpful to anyone that's taken a prescription drug that cannot be written for the 90-day supply. Okay, so if you have issues with muscle pain, aches, or joint pain, you may want to look into purchasing something like this, which gives you, where you can use it to actually massage the muscles. And I bought this one here at the store for a Father's Day gift. So I try to get gifts for people that they can use in the midst of an SHTF situation. So you want to make sure you get things, if you're having those type of joint issues, get you something that you can use in lieu of making that doctor's appointment. Okay? All right. So I think that's all I wanted to cover. Just make sure you up those supplies. Get an area in your home where you know where your medical supplies are. And make sure you know how to use those supplies. Don't just stick them in a drawer and not know, okay, do you have enough bandages? Do you have enough of whatever it is that you're going to need? Do you have enough cold medicine? Have things that will help you through the storms, okay? All right, hope this video has been a blessing to you. Give us a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. We'd love to have you as part of our YouTube family. I enjoy the comments. Leave me a comment below and let me know, how are you doing with your medical supplies? Do you feel like you have sufficient supplies? Has this video been helpful to you? Leave a comment below and let's dialogue and let's bounce some things off of each other. If you have other ideas that you would like to share with the community, put them in the comments below, okay? All right, talk to you guys in the next one. Look forward to it. See you.